harassment coming out of Xenics Storm's bottom lane, and that they really showed a high degree of proficiency with that Annie-Caitlyn combo, and of course SK Telecom as sitting here in the studio taking notes on the game as it was played. So
it is tough for Xenics Storm to immediately go into another game like this.
Annie Thresh, they're taking away all the support options for this long-range harass, so they're very afraid of the excellent zoning that we saw from Xenics Storm last game. They're shutting it down with a few bans immediately.
I wonder if we're going to see him go all the way and do the Leona ban as well.
Well, Leona, of course, doesn't have that same long-range harassment threat. So
true, more of just like the, the holy trinity of supports right now that people tend to play.
Yeah, you can always counter that Leona with Alistair, though, and we'll see how it all pans out. Gragas will be banned out as well, so Alvingo, they're just taking away the strategy that Xenics Storm used last game, hoping that they're kind of a one-trick pony right here, and if they don't have the Gragas and they don't have the zone of the bot lane, that they'll be able to take a win. Ziggs going down as well against EasyHoon after he had a pretty solid game on him earlier.
Koro manages to pick up Lee Sin, though. A pretty good game on him. Game number 1. And, Yasuo Lulu. Nice, all right. So I would assume that's going to be a top Yasuo and maybe a support Lulu, but
who knows at this point.
A lot of supports were banned out.
Yeah, the support ban out probably means that that is a support Lulu and mid Yasuo.
Well, we were talking about supports that have a lot of zone potential.
Exactly, and long-range harassment.
Lulu
so
does have that.
This would fit the bill, and honestly, one of the things they may have considered was executing a Caitlyn ban, but they're just going to take Caitlyn here, which I think is very smart of them.
Yep.
This is definitely the takeaway you want right here, because that threat of the Lulu Caitlyn lane may leave you in a similar situation to the one faced by Moon Comet.
That's right. Renekton goes to the top lane. You know, he's got his mouth wide open in the portrait, but no tongue. You'd think the tongue would kind of be like sticking out a little bit.
It's obviously just got it secured in his bottom, his lower mandible, his bottom jaw there.
Yes, you can kind of see into it though. Maybe Renekton has no tongue.
Nasus cut it out long ago.
Maybe, and I mean, he is from space, so maybe he communicates with like space telepathy or something.
About how much he hates Nasus.
That's right. He just thinks it very hard. So 2 more picks over to the Xenics Storm side of things. Maybe an Ezreal for OQ. There will be an Ezreal for OQ.
So they're still looking for the long-range harass. It's difficult to play that Sivir into Caitlyn if you know it's coming, and they just want the poke here. They're going all for the poke, and Ren grabs that Shyvana. He showed us a very good game on it last time.
Yep, Shyvana Lulu is a great combo.
And here we go. Here's Exhaust Karthus coming in as a Yasuo counter. So far, when we've seen these picks come up in Masters and Champions, that has been the default counter pick to Yasuo, is grabbing that Exhaust Karthus. However, it does work better with Sivir than with Caitlyn, just because you can launch that Karthus straight into the enemy composition.
Yeah.
But having that exhaust, probably, well, Wolf interestingly taking the Zyra here, so they're also trying to counter poke with long-range poke. We haven't seen too many Zyras since the nerfs, but in this particular circumstance, when you're just looking to equalize the poke in the lane, and you already see that Lulu Ezreal combo coming in, I really like the planning done by SK Telecom right here in this game. You've got a good composition, good range, and you've got a pretty deadly Requiem Ace in the hole finisher.
You know, a good ultimate from Zyra, too, will allow Karthus to make up that difference and get into the team where he might not have been able to otherwise.
Yeah, Root as well, of course.
Yeah, that's very true.
That Sivir really offers kind of that next level Karthus play. And Wolf not going for exhaust so far.
Oh, Wukong.
Yeah, it's going to be a jungle Wukong. So taking some pages out of NA's book. This is a pick that is very common in the North American scene.
Yeah. There we go.
And also, of course, synergizes extremely well with Yasuo, Wukong's ultimate.
Yeah, that's
that
really
massive knock-up, you get a lot of kill potential. So they've got Lulu to knock up, Wukong to knock up, Shyvana to knock back. They have a lot of ways to trigger this last breath right here. So
Ezreal just sits in the back looking pretty.
Ulting 5 people and
right.
Keeping himself alive, because that is the issue right here. Everybody is so all in for Xenics Storm that Ezreal kind of has to be able to babysit himself, or their AD carry has to be able to babysit himself. So you pick the most mobile AD carry out there in order to do it. I have to say, I like Xenics Storm's composition quite a bit.
Well, they've got the comp, but do they have the execution here? SK Telecom S certainly going to be a much more difficult opponent than Mook Comet was. Let's take a look at the roster. Jungle Wukong making an appearance in Korea. Very cool.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage in the early game as well. He's really primed with a lot of armor penetration, and he's got that gap closer on his E, so he can mix it up early on. The problem is he really lacks CC pre-6, so he relies on lane CC in order to really do anything. So
yeah.
I don't really see him having a lot of success with early ganks right here. Counter ganks, maybe.
Do you feel like he's relatively safe in those early engages where Lee Sin runs into your jungler and all that?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's a fine duelist early on, but he does have to be careful. And the problem is, without any hard CC in his lanes, really, there's not a lot of kill potential. So he's got to be much more conscious of counter jungling and less focused on ganking.
All right, guys, well, here we go. The winner's match. The winner of this game moves on to Champions Spring. Who will it be? Go the winner's match. SK Telecom S versus Xenics Storm. The camera focuses on Easyhoon. Exhaust Karthus. Common counter pick for Yasuo these days.
Yeah, and you'll see Exhaust taken by Wolf as well. Typically, we first saw this strategy really pioneered by their sister team in the Champions Winter Final against Ozone. And the double Exhaust was incredibly crucial to keeping Yasuo locked down at all times. It pretty much ensured that they always had one Exhaust up. For Yasuo, Dade really not able to do much on that champion.
Yeah.
We'll see Doran's Shield start for one of our supports. Coin for Inc. this game.
That makes sense.
The
default go-to support item.
I mean, bot lane should pretty much just be a farm fest. We should see Marin pushing in early, and that's probably going to provide the best chance for Vin to gank. He'll probably be focused mostly on that top lane because Karthus is just going to sit under turret and farm with lay waste, not wanting to engage until level 6. So both teams have very good compositions. I'm going to be really excited to see how well Xenics Storm can pull off a wombo combo right here, because in theory, if you layer those ults right, you know, Wukong ult and then Wild Growth, you're talking about 2.5 to 3 seconds of total knock-up time right there if you chain your CC properly.
In the meantime, Yasuo's in the middle of everything, destroying people.
Yeah.
And there's a ward right in red. They want to keep track of how Vin gets his start.
Yeah, the negative to this kind of wombo is that you're extremely cooldown dependent on multiple ults being up at the same time, and that creates a lot of windows of opportunity that the other team can exploit, because you really can't team fight unless you've got a couple of those big ults up, and you're not going to be able to contest objectives.
Well, the nice thing is that during those times, the lanes that they have are pretty good, you know, skirmishing lanes too. You know, Shyvana, Yasuo, and then Ezreal Lulu, not bad.
Yeah, well, right there, this is a bit dangerous from SKTS. They went to go ahead and help leash Horo, and by doing so, they got pushed in really quickly right there. This is why most LCS teams have stopped leashing, because this is just terrible for SKTS. The Lee Sin shouldn't need the leash very much, and now bottom lane is just kind of, I mean, this is not something that's easy to recover from, especially when you don't have any sustain in your lane. You're going to be down on levels, you already got poked out, and you're losing CS to turret.
Yeah.
And they'll feel safe about doing this too. Xenics Storm, you know, as we hit 3 minutes, as the second run is taken, they know where Lee Sin started, so they know there's not another possibility of a gank for about 30 more seconds, and they've got Wukong on their side of the map, so I think Xenics Storm, the jungle pathing, really favoring their early pushing and aggression right now.
That certainly seems to be working out so far. And like you mentioned earlier, I mean, this lane, it's going to be a lot of farming. We will see things kind of stabilize now. Alvingo getting very deep in the mid lane.
Good ward early on. Just making sure you can keep the pressure up safely right there without Horo messing with Yasuo. And Vin going to go for some counter jungling early on, while Horo goes ahead and takes a double golem. I guess they're happy letting Marin put the pressure on up in top lane.
Yeah.
And
the pause. Okay. We will see what the problem is. Looks like it's an issue over on the Xenics Storm side of things.
Yeah, exciting to see this early game because it looks like perhaps Wolf having a problem.
Yeah, he's disconnected now.
Left the game.
But he'll be back.
Easy Hoon leaving as well.
Oh.
Not sure what's going on here. So actually, SK Telecom T1S seem to be having a few problems, and Horo already going back early on and picking up fast razors. We do see this on a lot of Lee Sins right now. Of course, if you can get your farm up in the early game, it really helps you out later on.
Do you think he'll build all the way to Wriggles? We've seen that in Korea.
No, typically they stop and then they move over to Aegis or something like Sightstone, Aegis, and Merc Tread so that they can actually get the tenacity off of those items. But if you're planning on farming early, it can be very beneficial to have that item.
Wasn't it just the other day we saw Wriggles, Lee Sin, and Masters? Wasn't it the last match, if I remember right? I don't know. I've been jet lagged for like the whole last week, basically. So
we've seen a lot of razors, but I'm not sure if we've gotten up to Wriggles in any of them. You may be right. I just don't recall. And yeah, the razors though really good early on. They also allow you some pretty speedy counter jungling as well, which is one of Lee Sin's advantages, just because of naturally how good he is as a duelist. So if you can speed through your enemy's jungle, you're going to be feeling pretty good. And they're going to see Oro clearing out his wraiths right there. They've got eyes on him and see him heading across the map as well. So Easy Hoon is in a vulnerable situation right now, actually.
There we go. Vin coming in. Easy Hoon.
Backing off already. Vin didn't have enough time on his little burst of invisibility right there to do much.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a little bit of trading going on in the bot lane, but again, just not a lot to speak of here.
A good shield right there.
Yep. These teams just kind of more concerned about farming right now in general. And here comes Horo coming in that mid lane. Can they get the jump on Alvingo? He just used his whirlwind. Yeah, here we go. Coming in, there's the slow from the walls. Can they get him? There's a cute wind wall. Does not stop Lisa from walking through. But here comes Vin for the counter gank. Alvingo trying to dash his way out of that one. Yeah, Easy needs to back off. Not too many Qs coming out of it. Horo in a bit of trouble. Only autos, so with the mana situation for Easy Hoon, maybe not the best game timing, but they thought they had an opportunity. Thought might as well go for it. Everybody gets out.
Marin with a very early roam right here, putting pressure on. He had already shoved the wave back up into turret, so why not try and get that advantage? And here's some counter jungling coming in from Horo right there. Of course, you know, this Yasuo taking a lot less damage from those auto attacks, has that better sustain as well. So Easy Hoon has to be a little bit careful right here. There is kill potential. Ignite is still up for Alvingo.
Yeah. Meanwhile, OQ and Ink push back to their turret for the moment. And top lane, well, top lane doing what top lane does. Bruisers
Tank Wars.
That's right. It's like World of Tanks up in the top lane. It's a whole different game.
World of Tanks. Okay, well, Oro coming around looking for another angle on Alvingo. Alvingo still has flash up though, so he's not very likely to be successful.
Didn't get flash.
Oh, he's going in.
Easy Hoon, yeah, trying to bait a little bit. There's the exhaust onto him. Can he get away? Alvingo, a little bit of trouble, pops that flash. There's the knockup. Wind wall, yeah, Vin comes in for the counter gank, but the safeguard will keep Horo from dying. Easy Hoon has to flash. Oh, man.
That was a nice forced flash right there. Alvingo did not use his Ignite in that situation. Didn't see that avenue to get a kill, and that Doran's shield going to sustain him for a little bit longer. Easy Hoon is 6 now. So are they going to try and make a play on another lane? Looks like Bang and Wolf have successfully reversed the pressure on that lane for the moment. And have shoved Ink and OQ in. Farm remaining approximately even right there. Marin slicing and dicing in and out as both of our top laners hit 6 as well. Alvingo finally going back, and Easy Hoon coming back into lane with a Catalyst. He had a little bit of a brush with death right there. Alvingo actually getting Seal first.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times we see the Avarice Blade as a first component, just a little extra golden farm, but he's going to get that attack speed in and get the move speed as well. If he had that move speed on the last couple back and forths, he may have been able to actually pick up a kill with a few extra autos.
Seems like he's kind of thinking the same thing. Ultimate gets used by Ren. He's just going to go ahead and recall. Time to go back and do a bit of buying. 10 CS down in that top lane, which
to be expected, yeah.
Yeah, isn't terrible. Nothing to worry about. Marin coming in. Can he steal the red buff?
Yeah, Raren's just been such a threat in both of these games on red. He's done an amazing job of controlling that top side of the map and making it difficult for the enemy jungler. And he's still just sitting around right now. He hasn't gone back to buy, and Alvingo.
Oh, Marin may be in a bit of trouble here. Ren coming in, Alvingo there as well. Marin slice and dice, trying to get out. Pops dominance, still has Slash if he needs it. Been chasing, but it looks like Space Crocodile will escape to fight another day.
Yeah, red gets taken by Finn as well. That was a close call, but with Flash still up and Requiem on the board, they really didn't want to commit too much to that. They probably could have gotten that kill.
Oh, better safe than sorry. Like blue buff going over to Horo, a blue steal. Finn is going to be very sad. Oh.
You'll notice how well SKTS is pressuring right now. They're just probing how well Xenics will react to their much more rapid rotations. And you know, they found that point of vulnerability, didn't get the red buff, but managed to turn it into a blue buff immediately. You know, they're playing a little recklessly, but if you're confident that you are going to be the team that makes decisions, because a lot of the time, less veteran teams will be afraid to commit to an action, and that fear of commitment is really what allows professional teams to get an edge, because they will try and find when you will not react, because if you reacted, in your own territory, you're going to be at a defender's advantage. But if you're too scared to do it, or you're not decisive enough, if your comm isn't good and your teammates don't come immediately when you call, that's when the pro teams really have an edge, because they're just so much more decisive and they follow the calls a lot faster.
Yeah, it is really interesting actually to look at that across multiple games. I remember in StarCraft, the young players seemed to do really well, but one of their biggest advantages, even though they didn't have experience, is that they weren't afraid to commit to every decision they made. You know, they just made a choice and they went all out, you know? There was no second guessing, and that helped them out. But in League, it's something that comes with experience.
Yeah. You just got to be able to listen and know where the possible points of attack will be and defend them appropriately. But Horo gets the blue buff right there.
Good stuff. Looking across the board. Like pretty even.
And we look
no kills, no turrets.
The farm in the mid lane too. I mean, this is just to be expected.
Yeah. One
of the benefits of Karthus is he just farms so well under tower.
Oh, yeah,
such a safe champion for laning phase. You can pretty much hold the wave wherever you want to, because you have so much control over how much AoE your abilities do based on when you use Defile, where you place lay waste.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got the abilities Karthus to quickly take Wraiths and Wolves.
You know, I feel like this is kind of the game we were expecting with the winners match. You know, everything pretty even early on. It's about that time where things start to break open a little bit. Horo, about coming over the wall. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, here we go. A little bit of action. Alvingo gets kicked back into Easyhoon. Alvingo charges. There's the exhaust. Can he get away? There's a wall of pain. Continuously slowed. Walks into the turret. That's not going to help. And there will be first blood after that last breath. Literal last breath for Yasuo there. Yeah, and Easyhoon claims that first blood goal.
Yeah, he got caught really out of position right there, and it was a well-timed gank as well. You notice the flash just came up for Alvingo, so they had his flash timer, knew that he was going to be vulnerable for a few more seconds, and killed him right before he could use it. So great timing there from SK Telecom, and a bit of a risky lane position considering the flash wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah, that's one of the things about these really passive games too, is that you do get lulled into kind of a false sense of security sometimes.
Or they're in the top though, not gonna find much. And oh wow, big trade.
Yeah.
Ooh, bang out of mana right here, but that zone coming in from the Zyra plans a little too fearsome for Ink and OQ to face right now alongside the minion wave.
We'll see if Bang and Wolf decide to go back yet. Not quite. It looks like OQ's going to recall at the moment. Oh, nope, he changed it. No reason to, really. Vin coming down as well. Walks right into that ward, though, so Bang and Wolf not going to be surprised by any of this. And Horo
here's a gank
getting in position for a counter gank, yeah. Yasuo and Karthus, Easyhoon and Alvingo both coming down.
Yeah, but there's a ward right in that brush. They're trying to get the Wombo off with the ultimate from Wukong on the gank, combined with the ultimate from Yasuo, but it's not going to happen this time. Marin now returning to lane. He's got that Tiamat now.
Yeah.
Megatron Poke to mitigate some of the damage coming in from Gianna. Ren opting for a pretty tanky build this game. Trying to stop some of that early damage from Renekton with the Vision Tap.
Yep. Now if he times things well too, get a really nice ultimate off on Wukong as he comes in with his ultimate. There's so much, like you said, wombo combo synergy on this team. I really hope we get to see a full-on team fight with this, but it's going to be tough to set it up.
We can see SKTS, they really want to set up a Requiem gang as well. Horus spent a long time down there waiting for some sort of window of opportunity. Marin still viciously pushing the turret. He's gotten it down to about 50% HP all by his lonesome. EasyHoon shoving up, taking the advantage that he has in the lane now that the back from Alvingo has taken hold. Alvingo now finally coming back with a completed static shoot.
Quite a bit. There we go already.
Especially if he wants to roam, they'll just be able to push that lane so much faster.
He's going to have so much growth there.
But you can see, look at the reward placement already here from SKTS. They've got pretty good eyes on the potential roaming spots from Yasuo. And so they're not really going to be surprised by anything else, including that ward that just expired in the mid lane too. Keep an eye out for him.
And EasyHoon still trying to farm as best he can.
Which is pretty good, considering he's got that edge now on Alvingo that he was dead and out of the lane for a little bit.
It really needs to be a farmer Karthus skin. You know, he's holding the big staff. It could be like one of the wheat scythes or like a hoe or something like that.
There you go. Well, he's farmed so well anyway.
Exactly.
So
another great skin idea. So, and Monte Cristo.
All right, here's the blue buff transfer over to EasyHoon.
And he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got the blue buff.
Certainly the most exciting 15 minutes of League of Legends we've ever seen.
Nice pass. A crisp pass of the blue buff to EasyHoon. Just like my basketball coach always wanted to see. Crisp passing.
Crisp passing. The Hoon now has second level into Requiem, but we still have the Hoon.
He's called the Hoon?
The Hoon.
He's not the Hoon, though.
He's the easiest of Hoons.
Hoon is, yeah, he's easy. There's other Hoon. We don't call him hard Hoon, though. Just easy.
I'm getting so excited to see this wombo combo.
I know, it's coming. Don't worry, guys. It is coming.
Where's the big dragon fight where this is all going to go down?
It's supposed to be 7 minutes ago. But 16 minutes. Another opportunity there. Dragon fight's on the 8s.
Let's go, let's go.
Yep.
Good vision control over that bot lane again. You can see how well SKTS is prepping for this game. They know exactly what.
Oh, we could see some action. Horo coming in. They've got that pink ward, like you said. They're prepped and ready. A little bit of damage. Oh, but Vin coming down with the sweeping lens. Takes that one out. Horo waiting for it. Vin walking into the bushy face, checks it. Takes some damage, pops that W immediately. Vin flashes over to the top of the wall. Ace in the hole. Takes a chunk out of him.
They're just completely snuffing out the possibility that this big gank happens in the bot lane. Their ward control is just exceptional over that side of the map. They know exactly what's going on because that's where you're going to get the most people. And if you're going to, what is this?
What? The Requiem? Oh, it killed Shyvana. All right, so apparently there was something going on in the top lane. We didn't catch that.
Looks like
I'm
Marin
sure we'll get a replay of that.
him with Ignite and Dominus on with Tiamat and Ren.
Nice. Whoa! Meanwhile, more action that we'll have to get a replay of in the bot lane. Ink goes down in action mid lane. We're catching some of this now. There's the exhaust. Alvingo in big trouble here. No Requiem, but it doesn't matter. There's a flash. EasyHoon flashing as well. One more lane waste would do it. Can he hit him? Alvingo dodging. Marin coming in. There's the wall of pain. Can they chase him? Baron takes the wheel. Oh, it's too late. And Alvingo finally goes down.
Yeah, just every lane crumbling right there.
Yeah.
To the pressure, and that's what you want to do. I mean, if we look at the team compositions right now, they're doing an excellent job. What Xenics Storm wants to do is group and use their ultimates all together in order to net a series of kills. Yeah. What SK Telecom wants to do is divide and conquer. they have the global ult that will cause damage in the duels in other lanes. And you just used it beautifully. You ward up, you prevent the grouping strategy in the bot lane where they can maximize the number of people that they hit with the Wukong and Yasuo ult combinations. And let's take a look at what happened. And then you use Requiem for your global presence across the map. Marin diving in here. And very nice. And Marin just leaves immediately. He knows he's got that finisher on, even with the Ignite. And then that gets everybody low in the bot lane.
Nice root on the ink, yeah. Ultimate misses, but I've got a feeling this is strong follow. There's Horo coming in.
There we go, just the Dragon's Rage into the resonating strike for the kill. And in the mid lane,
We tried.
well,
Not enough damage
there's also just no way he was getting out of that situation unless he flashed over to the side brush in the river. And even so, Marin was already rotating down there after helping kill Shyvana in top lane. So I think he was just dead no matter what. He knew it. So he
Bang could be in a bit of trouble here. Vingo coming in. Bang takes a lot of damage. And oh, true shot barrage gets blocked with the barrier. Bang survives it. Meanwhile, Ren starts Dragon, but does he have enough support? Looks like he does. Marin, though, coming in. And
they're not going to be able to stop it.
I don't think so. Yeah, there we go.
Temp with a seal. Horo flash over the wall right there.
He gave it a try.
Gave it a, probably not worth it for the flash, honestly, but especially since it was just so likely that they were going to get it. They took advantage of the fact that Easyhoon's Requiem was on cooldown right there in addition to chunking out the dual lane. So good play there from Xenics Storm, and they keep themselves within 3,000 gold here in 20 minutes, which is pretty good. But
closest game we've seen yet.
Yeah, this Karthus is getting very, very worrisome. Especially because Easyhoon is nearly done with his Zhonya's Hourglass right now, and that's just going to be a massive issue. OQ gets the blue buff over on the side of Storm. Of course, Yasuo only going to be able to use that for cooldown, and this is an early Dragon.
Yeah,
or Baron, rather.
Baron for SK Telecom S.
Such a good call, though. You know, they don't expect to be taken this early. They got good clear, and because they have the damage coming in from Zyra and this Karthus, of course, Karthus is one of the fastest takers of Baron in the game. They're just going to get it uncontested right under the nose. And look at this Marin zoning out the red buff at the same time. So it looks like all Marin is doing is getting this red instead. Now he's got a Baron buff surrounding him as well. He's got Dominus Pop. He's not going to get the red buff.
Almost got it, but not quite. And Bang's got to be a little bit careful. Alvingo's coming down.
That was a great call from SKT.
Yeah, that was a very clean Baron. And so, SK Telecom S continuing to
nobody expects that either. 19 minutes, you see Caitlyn in the bottom lane, and you see Renekton trying to steal your red buff. Your first thought is not Lee Sin, Karthus, and Zyra doing Baron pre-20 minutes.
That was a Baron that was tricky. People are sort of proud of. There's the stun on Alvingo. They're going to chase him down. Marin going in, doesn't have the ultimate. Alvingo with that shield for just a moment. There's the knockup. Ignite.
So he pops the ward over the wall so he can see to dash over to the white, just to escape. So cute little move right there from Alvingo, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, at this point, Xenics Storm really having a lot of problems. Marin just continuing to split push. Ren may be able to get the first tower, but he trades it for a tier 2 turret and maybe more as the pressure just continues to mount. Easyhoon spamming his abilities, got so much mana regeneration with blue buff. And Marin coming in.
Whoa, going in really deep. Now Vingo low. There comes the Requiem. That's all they need. Another kill for Easyhoon.
Wild Growth not enough to save him right there either, and he couldn't move fast enough to get. Well, I'm not sure that even the shield would have been able to help right there, but now the tier 2 turret, SKTS doing a fantastic job of zoning out, and Xenics Storm not even able to pick up the kill.
Whoa,
there's a flash
over the wall, and Ink gets stunned. They're going to take him down. Nice support snipe, and SKTS again, I think they can feel their lead growing, and they're starting to be a little bit flashy. Well, no pun intended.
It's nice to see Marin playing so aggressively, though. You know, this is kind of what we heard was going to be his style, just this very heavy roam, buff control, balls of steel, high damage carry top laners.
Right.
With this Tiamat Renekton, he's just been showing great use of the Tiamat mechanic to come in and reset his autos.
We heard over and over again before he came into Champions, he's a faker the top lane, faker the top lane. We just didn't see that in their first couple seasons, but now, man, he's looking like he's really breaking out of his shell.
Yeah, it's fun to see his style as a player too. Yeah, we didn't see that roaming style, but now it's really coming into play. It's certainly working well against Xenics Storm. We look at Marin right here, who's able to put that turret pressure down early, communicate with Easy Hoon for that gank with the Requiem. Well, not really a gank, but more just use of pressing R.
Yeah, he does press R really well.
Easy Hoon is renowned for his ability to press R.
Sick mechanics, man.
Karthus mechanics #1.
You watch that Spawn Karthus video on YouTube, and he is set for life. Only R on that keyboard.
Here we go.
Maybe Q.
Maybe Q. He's got the lay waste.
Yeah. Maybe pretty much all the keys.
Question it becomes now is, what do you do with this? Because there's only one top turret left. Do you actually want to group and kind of deal with it? And this is the point in the game where it becomes kind of hard for a team with a lead and to close this, because you don't have Baron, you don't have Dragon, you took them all very early, and you've got pretty much all the outers down right now, but you don't yet have enough farm and items to reliably close. So you just kind of putter around and push lanes for a little bit.
Yeah. Baron up in the top lane. Saw that it could have been a 1v2. Might want to back off, but it could be much more than a 1v2. Just takes the golems instead. He's got a lot of CS. 102 and 230 CS in 23 minutes. Not bad.
Yeah, Marin up 50 CS in his lane as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Up 50 CS. Pretty impressive. Nearly 60 now, but this is, we saw Ren do pretty well in the last game, but Marin just looking like he's on another level and able to capitalize that early Renekton advantage.
Yep. And so SK Telecom S is just kind of doing everything to safely increase that lead.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. This game can't be closed right now. SK Telecom is going to be a little reluctant about putting a lot of pink wards in the enemy jungle, just because as soon as they retreat to this dragon, there's a possibility of them being cleared out and then kind of losing a lot of gold in the process. So instead, just shove the lanes, force rotations, because Marin is so strong and Ren has a difficult time dealing with him.
You know, there are so many torches on this map. Some of them even in the middle of, like, look, there's a torch in the middle of that grass brush. That's got to be some sort of fire hazard.
Smokey the Bear is just
no kidding. Look at that.
So upset right now.
So many torches right next to trees and stuff.
Where's Nami when you need her?
I know.
To prevent some forest fires.
Riot, only you can prevent forest fires.
Nami, only tidal waves can prevent forest fires.
Smokey the Volibear. That should be a skin.
Park Ranger hat. That would be the best.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. There's the engagement coming in. They try to get the Wombo combo. Doesn't work as well as they were hoping. Can't quite get it. Bang planted his first victim, and now everybody engages. Marin pops a Dominus, goes deep. They may be able to get Zyra. They will, but Marin manages to take out Alvingo. Two-shot barrage comes through, and that's going to be a kill for OQ. That's going to be the only kill for Xenics Storm. Wow. Karthus with a parting blow. OQ extremely low. That's going to be an inhibitor. 2 for 4. Xenics Storm, that was like their only chance to get that Wombo combo.
They used all their flashes for it too, and they still
really
couldn't get it.
Yeah.
They used 4 flashes to try and get that Wombo, but the disengage from SKTS just really beautiful. They had that situation read, and as soon as anyone came in, you saw them immediately ready to back out. They had that all quite easily planned, kited it out, and then re-engaged with Flash. Easy Hoon under turret, not caring at all to give his life up. Alvingo finally getting an Infinity Edge, but it's going to be a little too late. Bang has no mana. Marin on the run.
Marin! Well, they're going to chase him down. They may be able to get that one. There's a flash. Nope, Marin manages to escape for now. Yeah, he'll make it out. Nice zoning from Wolf and Bang.
Baron up in 1 second. This is actually an advantage because they pushed Marin off. That was actually a pretty sloppy play by Marin there, not realizing when the Baron timer was. And this is going to give pit control to Xenics Storm.
Yep. And So a little bit of stress for SK Telecom S. I don't think they're too worried about it. There we get to go. There we go. They're just going to try to clear out the wards if they can. Baron is not amused.
There we go, the last clear right there.
Oh, man, there's a wall of pain. He takes a lot of damage. Man, the poke is just so huge. And SK Telecom gets that Baron pit control right back again. Oh, meanwhile, Super Minions knocking down the Nexus turret. I don't even know if Elvingo can save this one. Baron gets started. They have to disengage. It looks like that turret will just barely live. But a dangerous moment already for Xenics Storm. There's no way they can handle this and keep Baron safe at the same time.
Here we go. They're not trying to. They just want Marin to split push right now. It's fine. So they'll keep Yasuo right there and continue the dance around the outside. Marin not going to take too much damage from that champion. And because Xenics Storm needs Yasuo in order to deal the damage of their wombo combo, as long as they keep him split off, SKT has a distinct advantage in a 4v4. Here we go with Talisman.
Yeah, that's right. They have to get out of there. And Horo walks right into Ren. He's in a little bit of trouble. Has to safeguard over the wall. He'll get away. Meanwhile, Marin causing a bit of mischief in the mid lane. The inhibitor probably going to be back within a minute or two.
Nice
catch.
catch.
Oh, wow, a great catch on the ink, the wall of pain, everything. And here we go. They're going to try for the wombo combo again, but they don't get it. That ultimate from Wolf just so good at zoning. A double kill already from Bang. Marin claims one. Ren on the run. They're just going to ignore him. They're going to go for the win right now, and with those death timers, they can certainly do it.
Well, the last Cyclone combo never actually got to happen.
The thing is like Wolf, with his ultimate, with the Zyra ultimate, just shuts down that wombo combo so hard. This is no chance. There goes the Nexus turrets. Ren jumps into the middle, just tries to delay things. Oki is still alive, but not for long. Now still making out. They're going to try to, oh, this is a bit dangerous here. For SK Telecom S, there we go. They did get ink. They should be able to focus the Nexus. GG. And SK Telecom S moves on to Champions Spring.
Yeah, very convincing win right there. Taking some notes after the game, looks like. And, Moro and Easy Hoon right there as we pan down for our first team to qualify for this season of Champions, and doing so in a pretty dominant fashion.
SK Telecom K wins the last season, and their sister team is the first to qualify for the next one.
It's a beautiful understanding of Xenics Storm's